The automotive industry comprises a wide range of companies involved in design, development, manufacturing, marketing, and selling of motor vehicles. It is one of the largest industry by revenue, and today we'll analyze the depths of the current and future scenario in the automotive industry. So let's begin our sector analysis by screening the automotive sector through three levels. First, the long-term profitability. India is expected to be the world's third biggest automotive market in terms of volume by 2026. Despite the current pandemic, the Indian automotive sector has shown immense resilience and is facing the challenges posed by the pandemic head-on. Domestic automobile production increased at 2.36% CAGR between financial year 16 to 2020, with 26.36 million vehicles being manufactured in the country in the financial year 20. In July-September 2021 quarter, the luxury car market registered sales of 8,500 units. Indian automobiles exports stood at 1.4 million units from April 2021 to June 2021. EV sales excluding e-rickshaw in India witnessed a growth of 20% and reached 1.56 lakh units in financial year 20, driven by two-wheelers. According to Nitty and Rocky Mountain Institute (RMI), India's EV finance industry is likely to reach 3.7 lakh crore, that is $50 billion in 2000. A report by Indian Energy Storage Alliance estimated that EV market in India is likely to increase at a CAGR of 36% until 2026. It is clear from the data that there has been immense growth in the automotive industry in the past decade, and the next decade will be an even exciting one with all the new technologies being born. Now, talking about the profit pools, that is the subsector of automotive industry which has the most potential to grow, electric vehicles, also called EV industry, tops the list. It is less than 1% of the total vehicle sales, however, has the potential to grow to more than 5% in the few years. At present, there are more than 5 lakh electric two-wheelers and a few thousand electric cars on the Indian roads. The industry volumes have been fluctuating, mostly depending on the incentives offered by the government. Many serious players like Hero Eco, Ather are continuing with the mission and trying to enforce the positive change. Before analyzing the EV industry, it is important to understand some basic terminologies. The first one is BEV, Battery Electric Vehicle, a vehicle that runs completely on electric battery. The second one is ICE, Internal Combustion Engine, today's vehicle that runs on fossil fuels. The third one is FCEV, Fuel Cell Electric Vehicle, that uses hydrogen to make electricity. The fourth one is mild hybrid. It increases fuel efficiency on current vehicles that run on petrol and diesel. The fifth one is PHEV, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. It involves both an electric battery and an internal combustion engine. Now let's talk about the current market share in the EV industry. 21% of the market is dominated by Tesla. 12% goes to Mitsubishi, Renault and Nissan. 10% goes to Volkswagen, 7% goes to SAIC, 6% to Hyundai and 44% to other companies. The trend in the market clearly favors the BEV. Here are the key reasons why we think that EV industry will have an insane growth in the near future. The first one is climate change and public awareness. The most important reason for the EV market to blow up is its contribution towards raising public awareness and reducing climate change. The second one is government support and fiscal incentives. Government supports the EV industry to fight climate change and to reach the target that the world's temperature needs to be below 1.5 degrees Celsius. India established FAME 2 scheme with a budget of over 100 billion rupees for a period of 3 years, which is being used for demand incentives and creation of charging infrastructure besides the scheme tax benefits that have been announced to encourage EV purchases. The third one is emission regulations. Many countries have strong regulations over vehicle emissions, which would ultimately lead to an overall shift to electric vehicles. The fourth one is fuel economy. The cost of operating a EV is far less than a conventional ICE-based vehicle. The fifth one is decline in battery price. With the time, as the technology improves, the battery cost will definitely reduce, leading to an even efficient market for EVs.
Now let's talk about the third level, that is adapting to changes in the business environment. A switch to primarily EV transport in 15 years would present India with major questions like how is India adapting to EV trend and what are the challenges in adaptation of EVs in India. Firstly, the EV manufacturing was previously controlled and taken care by global giants, but now even small Indian companies have taken the responsibility and are contributing to the country's growth. And as production is increasing, government is taking steps to redefine our renewable energy targets. At one end, the prices of battery are expected to decrease in the near future by 30%, by which EVs will become more cheaper than usual vehicles. While on the other hand, government is also promoting the EVs market by announcing several tax benefits and subsidies to dominate the sales of EVs.
Now let's talk about some of the challenges that the EV industry and an EV owner faces. First one is the lack of dedicated parking spots. The EV charging conundrum is nothing but a parking issue. In India, not every four-wheeler owner has access to a dedicated parking spot. The second one is lack of EV charging infra. One of the most common challenges associated with owning an electric vehicle is range anxiety. The lack of robust and widespread charging infrastructure adds to the misery of an EV owner. The third one is lack of standardization. The EV connector type is provided on the car and on the EV charger as well. Currently in India, all standards are being adopted and this creates a problem with the supply of EV charging stations. The fourth one is lack of service options. Most of us at some point of time would have faced a vehicle breakdown. Yes, an EV has lesser moving parts when compared to an ICE vehicle, but the technology is something our informal service network has no knowledge of.